The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Do the thing you fear to do and keep on doing it. That is the quickest and surest way ever yet discovered to conquer fear. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Don't fear failure. Not failure, but low aim is the crime. In great attempts it is glorious to even fail. The thing you fear most has no power. Your fear of it is what has the power. Facing the truth really will set you free. Fears are nothing more than a state of mind. To fear is one thing. To let fear grab you by the tail and swing you around is another. You gain strength, courage and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. Many of our fears are tissue paper thin, and a single courageous step would carry us clear through them. Things done well and with a care exempt themselves from fear. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. Fear keeps us focused on the past or worried about the future. If we can acknowledge our fear, we can realise that right now we are okay. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Fear isn't an excuse to come to a standstill. It's the impetus to step up and strike. Each of us must confront our own fears, must come face to face with them. How we handle our fears will determine where we go with the rest of our lives. To experience adventure, or to be limited by the fear of it. Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. I've learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. Do one thing every day that scares you. Limits, like fear, is often an illusion. I believe that every single event in life that happens is an opportunity to choose love over fear. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Do the thing you fear, and the depth of fear is certain. Never let the fear of striking out get in your way. Great fear is concealed under daring. Living with fear stops us taking risks, and if you don't go out on the branch, you're never going to get the best fruit. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. Don't be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know that something is worth it. There is a stubbornness about me that can never bear to be frightened at the will of others. My courage always rises at every attempt to intimidate me. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Scared is what you're feeling. Brave is what you're doing. Don't give in to your fears. If you do, you won't be able to talk to your heart. Men go to far greater lengths to avoid what they fear than to obtain what they desire. I have accepted fear as part of life, specifically the fear of change. I have gone ahead despite the pounding in the heart that says, turn back. A man that flies from his fear may find that he has only taken a shortcut to meet it. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. Brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you go on even though you're scared. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. There's no shame in fear, my father told me. What matters is how we face it. I am afraid. Not of life, or death, or nothingness, but of wasting it as if I had never been. Thank you for watching. We would really appreciate if you would like and share the video and subscribe to our channel.